Hey Gabe, how you doing?
All right, Gabe. I'm gonna start. Gabe, talk about the mood of the team going in that bottom of the eighth inning. They'd hit you with a four spot. Everybody was kind of back on their heels. Crowd was stunned. What was the mood going into that second half inning, the eighth inning?
It really hurt them putting for that four spot, but we never let our heads down. We got to the dugout, and our team, we just try to get that first base runner in, and then keep the momentum on our favor. So we never let our heads down.
Like you're seeing the ball real well now. I mean, of course, earlier in the year you were struggling earlier. What's been the key to your turnaround? You're up now what 340, I guess now, and you were 198 earlier in the year. What's been the key to turning things around for you?
I really just try to stay within myself. I actually always felt good. It was just nothing was going right for me. So I just try to keep like a level mind and just trust that I was gonna start hitting again. And I just kept that same mentality throughout the year.
Gabe, could you just describe in the ninth inning when things got a little sticky, just how it felt to get out of that?
Oh, that's as soon as Reed made that play, it's a big just relief. It was a great play. And after he made that play, it was just like, just finally.
To come back like you did after, I guess it was three or four run inning for them in the eighth. What does that tell you for the team to come back and get that lead back immediately? Just kind of the resiliency y'all showed in those last two innings.
It's a big, like it just shows that we're capable of, staying within ourselves and being capable of even when things get a little tough, it shows that we're capable of coming back and doing our job.
Gabe, just how good is it to have Charlie back in the lineup?
Oh, it feels amazing. He's a big part for our lineup. He's been consistent ever since the start of the season. So having him back on the lineup, it's a big relief. And we know he's gonna put up great numbers for us. So he's gonna help us a lot for sure.
All right, fellas, fire away.
Coach, can you talk about Reed's catch and everything that happened right there?
Well, that was a phenomenal catch, and probably, obviously could be a game saver for sure. If we don't do anything there in the bottom half, but tremendous athletic play on his part. Got a great jump on it. That was a tough ball to catch for sure. So, dove and probably going to ask me what the situation is with him. He's had a shoulder problem that has bothered him, and I think probably re-aggravated it. So don't really know. We'll see tomorrow how it feels. He'll have ice on it tonight, and hopefully, get some rehab and get it back working.
So I talk about the resiliency of your team there. You have a nice lead going into the eighth inning. They put up a four spot, and talk about how your kids fought through it and were able to get back on track.
Well, I think we're certainly a much different team right now at this point in the season than we were earlier in the season. We've grown up a lot as a team. We've learned how to compete. Last weekend, that was a heavyweight bout between us and La Tech that ended in a draw. But we had to stay in the middle of the ring with them, and we equate a lot of things that we talk with how we compete with boxing. And I think today was no different than last weekend. We got punched in the mouth and we got put on the ropes, and we had to come off from it and fight our way off. And that's exactly what we did there in the bottom of the eighth. And it didn't go without staying in the middle of the ring there in the ninth. I mean, Western Kentucky made a run on us, getting the leadoff hitter on, and then with an error ends up at third, and now you're tying runs right there with one out. So we had to do some things and to compete to win that baseball game. Garrett Ramsey being able to come in and getting that punch out with the runner at third was really key in that inning. And of course, Trimble's catch, which we've talked about there to end the game.
Talk about Hunter Stanley. He gave you, 7+ innings, another quality start there. He's just, he's sitting out there and he does his job.
Yeah, he's Mr. Consistent, 7 2/3. And, probably, honestly, probably could have, we probably could have cleared 8 innings with him, but we felt like he was at 110 pitches. The kid hits the double to move him within 2 runs. We have Ock, who's been performing very well. So we went to the pen with that. It got a little dicey, obviously, with them scoring 4 runs. But, Hunter Stanley, once again, he's a lead dog that goes out there on Friday nights for us and sets the tone for the rest of the series.
Looked like Ryan was missing down and in with his pitches there, and then he had to come in with the 3-2 count there with the kids here. Can you talk about his? How can he was kind of a confidence shaker for him to give up the 3-run home run there? Talk about Ryan.
Well, yeah, I tell you, of course, he'll be back out there sometime in these next 3 games, I guarantee you. And the competitor in him wants to be back out there. He wants to get back in the middle of that ring and get after it. So, he's been really good here of late. He's human, as we saw tonight. As good as he's been, he didn't have his stuff tonight. He was missing. He got behind in counts. Actually got real predictable, and the 3-run homer, he kind of locked himself into that pitch, a fastball, and give credit to that pinch hitter. I mean, he didn't miss it. He got it on a 3-2 and left the yard. I mean, it was a big swing for their team, but credit our guys for being able to come back in the bottom half and score 2 to take the lead back to get us to the 9th.
Coach, your 1-2 hitters tonight, Gabe and Reed, just were huge all night. What can you just speak to the job that both those guys did?
Well, they just found a way to get on. Of course, we all remember in the 8th inning, down 1, and Montenegro hits right center gap for a double. Reed's 2 strikes into the count. Took a really big hack on strike 1, fouled off a couple pitches, but what he's done, what he seemed to have done, many times this year, he comes up with a really big hit, a double for us there. And then, those are the guys that seem to get it done for us. And I was glad that we were at the top of the order, having given up the 4 spot, so we could, start that thing and turn that lineup over and see those guys at the plate.
Coach, can you talk about Charlie and with just it being his first game back, how he was feeling?
Yeah, I think, of course, he rolled into a double play his first time up, but he had a solid base hit to center. He got a base or hit by pitch. What Charlie seems to do well is he seems to find first base. That's what he does. He gets on for you, and it may be by hitting, it may be by taking a walk, it may be taking hit by pitch. And we saw that played in the game tonight. We saw the walks, we saw the hit by pitches play into the game for both sides, not only for us offensively, but we saw it late in the game work towards Western Kentucky's favor. But Charlie, it's good to have him back in that 3-hole. The more at-bats we get him, the more live ABs, going into tomorrow. Obviously, I think the more comfortable he's going to be getting back to where he was prior to the injury.
Coach, some guys at the bottom of the order got hits. Could you just talk about the production you're seeing there?
Well, I credit in a real tight, our first run, we had runners there at third base, less than 2 outs. We strike out. Dickerson comes up, hits a sac fly for us, to give us our first run. The second run, I think, was a double, back-to-back doubles. Blake Johnson hits a double to drive in a run. So McGillis, I believe it was. So, we've got to have that. You want balance in your lineup. And obviously, you always kind of put your best hitters up in the top because they come around more often. But you have to have those guys in the bottom contribute. And more importantly, not only get RBIs, but get on base for those guys when that lineup turns over, that they can drive those kids in too.
Hunter, talk about your stuff tonight. What your performance and just how things went today.
Yeah, I felt good. I felt like all 3 pitches were pretty much working for the most part. I felt like we were able to keep them off balance, get ahead early in the count with fastball, and then I could throw small speed in there too. So I felt good.
What happened on that home run ball? Did you just leave one out there for him to hit?
No, actually, I executed the pitch I wanted. Me and Coach Oz talked about it. We called fastball inside. I got it in. And he was just ready for it. He got the hit out. Credit to that guy. I mean, that's going to happen sometimes. So
You were able to put it out of your mind there. What was your thought process? Just throw it away and put it behind you and go on.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do. You can't get stuck. You always play in the next pitch. Can't live in the past. So.
What was your out pitch today?
I felt like a fastball. Especially fastball late in the count. Felt like we knew that going in. Me and Coach Oz talked about velo would be good late in the count. Fastball.
Hunter, I wonder what it's like sitting there in the eighth, kind of a wild eighth inning. And for you, I mean, your day's kind of done. What was that eighth inning like? And to see you guys come back, I mean, you guys had kind of showed resiliency there. What was that like for you kind of watching that?
Well, I mean, just tip your cap to my teammates. I mean, good teams find a way to win. So, and, we did that tonight. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't exactly what we wanted, but the most important thing was getting that W. It was just awesome, to see Gabe have a great at bat there, get on for us in the eighth, and then Reed with a big hit there. I know Ryan didn't have his best stuff tonight, but hey, he's been awesome for us, all year. And that's going to happen sometimes. He's human. I look forward to the next time he gets out there. So.
Hunter, can you talk about just what it's like having Coach Oz just get you going from being that closer to the starter, and how he has really executed you to just doing 100 pitches and not have any major problems?
Yeah. Well, it's a credit to him and what we did in the fall. He had told me, before we started fall practice that, that's what he wanted from me, to be in the starting rotation. And we worked on it, all fall. Every time I went out and pitched in a scrimmage, I extended a little bit more, a little bit higher pitch count. And that was the same thing we did early this spring, before we started playing games. And, I had experience starting, I started in high school, started at Meridian, so it's not foreign to me. It was definitely a change, coming out of the pen and then going in the starter role. But he's been big, just mentoring me and helping me, go through that process. So I feel like we got a pretty good rhythm going now.
Just with you guys leading the nation in the strikeout to walks ratio and seeing the amount of success everybody's having in the pitching staff. I mean, is it a philosophy that Coach Oz has? Is it just something he preaches, or is it a culture he's created?
Yeah, it's just his whole mindset, just kind of rubs off on everyone. I've never seen someone so passionate and just so invested, in their job, and he just does so much for us, and he preaches to us every day. And I feel like this staff has really accepted a lot of the things he's telling us, and it's showing. We got a talented group of guys here, but I think the mindset part of it has really taken us to another level, and that's a credit to Coach Oz. So.